if you've been paying close attention to crypto over the past year, we have seen the meme coin market turn crypto entirely upside down, where people believe that it's all about tech, it's all about utility. And while that is true long term, people are starting to prioritize community more than everything else. And the meme coin market is a prime example of community first. So in this video, we're going to be talking about one project that massive whales are loading up on right now. So if you want to become the richest person in your family by investing in the crypto market, then you're going to love this video. Comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you guys are feeling bullish. And if you believe that you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping that subscribe button. Let's run it. All right, bull runners, welcome back to the channel. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about what's happening in the market. Looking at the crypto bubbles right now, over the past day, we've seen a rebound primarily in meme coins. So Floki up 13.8%, Pepe up 11%, Dog with Hat up 16%, Dogecoin up 15%. So the meme coin market is leading this recovery rally, which is a telltale sign that this entire bull run, I believe, is going to be a massive meme cycle. And if we look right here, what's going to be the catalyst for this bull run as we dive into this video? Well, a lot of people believe that it's Bitcoin's halving. And while, that historically that's been true roughly, 6 to 12 months after Bitcoin's halving, Bitcoin does very well. And then that goes into altcoins, large caps, then trickles down to mid caps and micro caps. But it really is revolved around the M2 money supply. And if you guys watched the previous video yesterday where we talked about the FOMC meeting where Jerome Powell came out and basically said that they need to keep rates higher for longer as they held the line for a consecutive, rate pause. Well, for them to lower interest rates, inflation is still too high. And so the Fed has officially restarted the money printer and M2 money supply turns positive for the first time since late 2022. Now, as you guys can see, back in 2021, when the M2 money supply was out of control, the bull market was in full effect. And then when 2022 was, happening, the M2 supply came down during that bear market and it went into, the negative as the Fed was issuing QT, quantitative tightening. So in order for the whole crypto market to move, we need to see the M2 supply increase. And so if the M2 money supply keeps going up, as it turns positive right now, then that is massively bullish for crypto. And so if you can position yourself in the right projects and understand some key things to look for, then you could become very, very wealthy this bull run cycle. And it could be the cycle that completely changes your financial situation. And so if you guys want to get access to, a book that we have coming out here soon, a guidebook showing you how to find 100x altcoins, you can get early access to this when it's released. It's going into final production basically, and all you guys need to do is go to bullrunners.com, click the button on the page, put in your best email address, and you'll be instantly subscribed to our daily video newsletter for free, where we give you the best information to help you guys prepare for the worst that's yet to come in this economy. So we're going to show you how to find these altcoins during this bull run, because when I get into the charts in this video and show you guys where we are in this macro cycle, it will blow your mind about how much money is going to not only flow into this industry, but how much money people are going to be making. And so we need to look at right now, people are still in fear, which is a good sign because, like Warren Buffett says, be fearful when other people are greedy and greedy when other people are fearful. If you just do the opposite of what the mass emotions are, that's how you separate yourself from the 99%. Because 99%, they just do the same thing. They think the same ways. They feel the same things. Whereas the 1%, they feel different, right? Last month was extreme greed. If you were hedging out of the market, that's not a good time to buy. That's a good time to hedge if you consider hedging, right? If you're a long-term holder and you're playing the macro market, buy low, sell high over the course of bear market and then sell close to the top in a bull run, I'll be explaining that throughout this video. But right now, people are in fear. Yesterday was neutral. And so people are still afraid of what's happening. So we need to look at Bitcoin's price chart first and then get into the meme coin market and talk about a project that is going to absolutely melt faces from community and from utility marketing and all that good stuff. And so on the left-hand side of the screen, we can see the last bear market and the start of the bull run for Bitcoin. And we also have the MACD up here. And one thing we want to look for to understand when the bear market is over is not only a trend reversal where we form, a higher high followed by a higher low. As you can see here during DeFi summer for 2019, Bitcoin rallied upwards of like $13,000, almost $14,000. And that was a higher high coming in because as you can see this downtrend, Bitcoin could not break this descending resistance. And then it finally broke it on the monthly chart right here on the 1st of April of 2019. But also on the MACD, what we look for is we look at a bottoming out on the histogram below the 0 line right here. So we could see the histogram bottomed out, and we see a reversal in the histogram. We see the histogram increasing, while we also see the MACD line flipping the signal line in orange. So the MACD line is blue, the signal line is orange. When the MACD line in blue crosses the signal line, that's what's called a bullish crossover. And so a bullish crossover tends to happen after the bottom has come in. And so, a lot of people wait for confirmation on the MACD for bullish crossovers to take place before they consider entering the markets. But you don't necessarily want to be buying a bullish crossover. You want to be buying when the histogram has bottomed out, and also when the RSI is in drastic oversold territory. Now, on the contrary, you want to be selling when the MACD line is well above the signal line. As you can see at the top here, back in December of 2017, the MACD line was all the way up here above the signal line. The histogram was topping out, and then we saw what was called a bearish crossover, where the MACD line in blue crossed below the signal line in orange. Now, bearish crossovers on the monthly chart tend to happen, after the top has come in. So it's very difficult to time the exact top. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some other indicators. And then also when you get this book, you guys are going to understand how to pair these indicators together to look for confluence to give you the best macro and micro trading strategy for yourself. And so we see a histogram increase, we see the rally up here, and then we see a shakeout event for COVID, and then continuation of the trend. Now on the right-hand side of the screen, we see some similarities here, right? During the bull run, the MACD line was well above the signal line. The histogram topped out and it started decreasing. Then we saw the MACD line cross below the signal line for a bearish crossover. And then we saw the histogram decreasing all the way down here. It bottomed out. Shortly after that, the bottom came in by, like around the 1st of November, 2022. And then we saw the histogram increasing again. We saw a bullish crossover signaling that the bear market is over. Now, as you can tell, during a bullish crossover, the price was upwards of $30,000. We saw another dip take place after that, just like how we saw the bullish crossover take place here back in June of 2019. We saw a dip take place after that, but then we rallied on out of there. So we're seeing something similar happen for Bitcoin, which is telling me that we're in the middle of this bull run, but we're not yet near the top. And so people have asked us like, hey, is Bitcoin topped out? It's over, it's done. We're going into a bear market now. Well, they need to zoom out and they need to understand the monthly on the Bitcoin price chart, because if we look back to the past bull run cycles and see how long they usually last for, well, the cycle from October of 2011 until, roughly November of 2013 was roughly 770 days from bottom to top. And on the RSI, the relative strength index, we saw the RSI all the way up here during the top at like 90 something. It was like 95, 96, and drastically overbought conditions. And so when the RSI on the monthly for Bitcoin is over 80, between 80 and 100, then it is drastically overbought. And that's the best time to consider getting out of the market. Now, what happened when we reached the peak, the RSI peaked out, it started dropped well below 50, and it took about 413 days for the bottom to come in. And the RSI was all the way down here. If I go ahead and move my camera, at about 44. Now, if we were to zoom in on the weekly or on the daily or even the hourly chart, we'll see the RSI, sometimes at like 20 to 30. So the lower the RSI goes, the more oversold the markets get. So on the monthly, we haven't really seen the RSI dip below 30. So what we're looking for on the RSI is roughly around like 40, 40 to 50 for the bear market. And so January of 2015, bear market bottom was in. Well, from the bottom to the top, then it took 1,064 days to reach the next peak. So on the RSI, where were we? Well, we went right back up to about 95. The top was in. We saw a sell-off, and it took about 364 days to get to the bottom this time. The RSI came all the way back down to about 44, bottomed out, and then we started reversing back on out of here. Now, what's interesting is it took 1,064 days to reach the next all-time high by like November of 2021. However, the true technical high based on the RSI was March of 2021, because the RSI was upwards of 92 right here. Then it took about 378 days to reach the bottom, and the RSI went all the way down to 40 again. So what we want to look for on the monthly chart to understand when to be getting out of the markets and then when to be getting back into the markets on the macro, obviously you can be buying dips, on the way up when we see like 20, 30, or 40% corrections to dollar cost average into the markets. If you're late, for example, you might be watching this video and you didn't buy the bottom back here in December 2022, so you feel like you missed out. There's plenty of dip buying opportunities. And I'm going to give you a quick disclaimer because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you what to buy or what to sell. I'm going to bring you the news because these videos are purely for information, educational purposes only, because crypto is very, very risky. You could lose all of your money. That's why I encourage you to do your own research. And that's exactly why we provide you with the facts here, so you could formulate your own educated decision here versus just being a degenerate gambler in these markets. And so we want to look for the RSI above 80, between 80 to 100, to understand when we are overbought, because historically that has signaled that a bull market top is coming in the closer we get to like 90, 95. And then when we want to see the RSI closer to 40 to start heavily purchasing, because historically that has signaled we have been near the bottom. Now, you're not going to time the exact bottom. You're not going to time the exact top. But if you play the long game here, now you know when the best times to buy and to sell into the markets are. And you can also get an idea on how much time is left before a potential top is in for Bitcoin. Because if we were to measure from the low right here in November of 2022, and we were to measure roughly 1,064 days, that would bring us into October of 2025 for the potential macro market cycle top. Now, a couple other charts we need to look at to understand where altcoins and specifically meme coins are going to go next is Bitcoin's dominance compared to the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. Because as you guys can see here, when Bitcoin's dominance dropped from 90+% all the way down to 35.84%, altcoins went from about $800 million in market cap upwards of about $500 billion in market cap, while Bitcoin's dominance was dropping. Then once Bitcoin's dominance bottomed out, it started reversing back to the upside. We went into a bear market for altcoins. And so Bitcoin was outperforming altcoins during a bear market, whereas altcoins outperformed Bitcoin during the final stage of the bull run. Then when we saw Bitcoin's dominance top out of about 70+%, it rolled over and it dropped all the way down to 39%. Around that time period, we saw altcoins go from about $180 billion upwards of about nearly $2 trillion. So in my opinion, the altcoin market is just getting started on its rally because Bitcoin's dominance is still at about 54%. And right here in the 1st of December, we saw Bitcoin's dominance surge up from 60 to 72% for that rally, while altcoins were still down here. And then once it rolled around, we saw the markets absolutely take off for all altcoins. And so in my opinion, Bitcoin would go first. Bitcoin would pass the all-time high. It would run upwards of like 80, 90, 100, maybe $120,000. Nobody can know the exact price of what Bitcoin will go to. Bitcoin's dominance will peak out. And then when Bitcoin cools off, then we'll see altcoins start to go absolutely parabolic. And I bet Bitcoin's dominance would start dropping again. So to know when the top of the altcoin market will be in, we want to watch Bitcoin's dominance and see it anywhere between roughly 35 to 40% at the same time that Bitcoin's RSI is upwards of 80 to 100. And on the MACD, I want to see the MACD line well above the signal line while the histogram is making repetitive green candles above the zero line. So if we put up total 2, which is the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, the two largest, and we put it next to the psychology of a market cycle, it looks like we're right around the hope stage right here with this little pullback. And I've been talking about this and bringing this up consistently, and we're going to keep bringing this up, every week, every month throughout the course of this bull run, so you guys can memorize this, because the more that you look at the psychology of a market cycle and you put it next to the charts, your mind will be able to easily understand where we are. Now, it's not going to be 100% accurate, obviously. There's some key differences here, but it rhymes, because as you can see during the bear market, we went during the complacency, anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, anger stage. Then we found a bottom into depression, and then we started working our way out into disbelief, a little pullback right here. And then we see the rally upwards of almost $1 trillion, like $800 billion. And then we see this pullback that's happening right now for the hope pullback, where people think a recovery is possible, but we're not quite to optimism, belief, thrill, and euphoria just yet, because retail interest is very, very low on Google Trends. Coinbase is not the #1 app in the world. That's another thing that we want to look for. And during the hope to optimism stage, it takes some time to break out of here, which plays in line perfectly with post-Bitcoin having recoveries that have happened the past few bull runs, where it takes like 3, 6, sometimes even 12 months to work our way out of here. And then the final few months of the bull run are the most parabolic of every single cycle, where, as you can see right here, from like May of 2020 until October of 2020, the price just slowly grinded up and then broke out from there. So I would expect the price just to trend sideways or slowly grind up for the next few months. And so this is the perfect time to look for your favorite altcoins and accumulate as much as possible. And because crypto is mainly narrative driven, the top narratives to look for, if you just go on coinmarketcap.com, you look at these fire emojis, you can see memes is #1, then Solana ecosystem, so like memes on Solana. Then we have gaming, and artificial intelligence. So if you were to just focus on these sectors right here, you'll arguably make the most amount of money because this is where retail is going to be coming into when they come back to the markets. And so institutions, hedge funds, and smart retail are front running the markets right now. And that's why we see projects like Dogecoin up 14%, Shiba Inu up. Shiba Inu is not doing too much the past 24 hours, 5%, but Pepe's up 10%, Dog with Hap up 16%, Floki's up 13%, Bonk 6%, Book of Meme. So the whole meme coin market, specifically the top 10 projects, are doing absolutely incredible the past week. And one of the meme coins that I'm the most bullish on for this cycle is Floki. Floki's sitting at $1.8 billion market cap. So it is a large cap, but this project, guys, is going to absolutely crush it. It's on Ethereum and it's also on the Binance Smart Chain. And so BNB, being the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap, sitting at $86 billion because of, Binance being the largest crypto exchange in the world, that allows for massive liquidity during the bull run to flow into a project like this. And also with it being on Ethereum, as Ethereum appreciates in value and as BNB appreciates in value, once the meme coin market really starts going parabolic towards the later stage of this bull run, liquidity from Ethereum and BNB will flow into the top meme coins on these chains. And so Floki's already positioned itself as a large cap leader in the meme coin space. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, it's already a large cap. It doesn't have that much potential for upside, but they're gravely mistaken because when you see the exchanges that it's listed on, it's on Binance, Uniswap, PancakeSwap, Bybit, OKX, KuCoin, Gate.io. So virtually all of the top exchanges. So when the trading volume really starts coming back into crypto during the belief, thrill, and euphoria stage towards the tail end of this market cycle, then Floki's going to absorb a lot of that from Binance and the other big exchanges. And so for those of you guys that think $1.8 billion is a lot of money and doesn't have much upside, look at Dogecoin during the last bull run at $84 billion. Look what Shiba Inu did last bull run, going upwards of nearly $40 billion. And so not only do I believe there will be multiple large cap meme coins with over 10, 20, 30, 40, even $50 billion market caps, but I believe Floki will be one of those main ones. So to go to a 20 or $25 billion market cap, which is very, very doable, is over a 10x for this project. Now I'm not guaranteeing that that's going to happen because we need to see the M2 money supply drastically increase. But when we go to Lunar Crush and we look at Floki's sentiment on X, on Reddit, on YouTube, and on TikTok, well, on Reddit and on X.com, it's mostly positive, 48%, 47% are feeling neutral, and only 4% are feeling negative about the project right now. And when we look at the fear and greed index, the majority of the market is feeling fearful. So the sentiment about Floki is outperforming the fear and greed index right now. Now, looking on the price chart, we're seeing a breakout happen right now from this descending resistance. As you guys can see, the all-time high right here, we see this descending resistance of multiple points of rejection. We're seeing this candle on the daily right now attempt to break out. So we need to see a close above this resistance and we need to see it hold above it. What I would like to see is Floki hold 0.002 as support, this zone right here, because this could be a potential double bottom trend reversal where you guys can see bottom number one right here for this corrective low, bottom number two, this ascending support right here. It recently just broke above the descending resistance, and if it holds this horizontal support box, then the next move to the upside would basically be leading to the optimism stage of the psychology of a market cycle. And then after optimism comes belief, thrill, and euphoria. So Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, predicted what, like $4 trillion or $5 trillion by the end of 2024. And so that would mean that meme coins, specifically Floki, would absorb the majority of that liquidity, because on cryptobubbles.net over the past year, we can see Bonk up 4,600%. We can see Floki up 275%, Pepe up 225%. They've been some of the top performers alongside other projects like Akash, Tau, Pendle, and Solana. Now, the main catalysts that are not only going to propel this growth, but keep Floki as one of the main large cap projects in the meme coin market is their roadmap, guys. They have a massive plan over the next year to 2 years to expand out their community and utility, because on the roadmap, they're going to move in phases. In phase one, they're calling it the Venus core markets. And Floki is currently integrated as a collateral asset on Venus, which is the largest and most respected lending protocol on the BNB chain, with a total value locked of over $2 billion. However, the Floki integration on Venus is currently limited to the isolated pool, which limits the number of assets Floki holders can acquire and the amount of liquidity that they can access. So pending governance approval, Floki is going to aim to be listed on the Venus core pool, which will unlock deeper liquidity compared to what is currently available to several top blue chip cryptocurrencies, while also allowing Floki holders to borrow a lot more asset types like DAI, USDC, BNB, Ethereum, and many others. And by using their Floki token as collateral, this deepens the market liquidity available to Floki by making it easy for Floki users to access more liquidity without having to sell their tokens, enhancing the utility of the Floki token and further integrating Floki into the DeFi ecosystem. And not only that, but they're going to be having the Floki debit cards going live soon, and then the University of Floki to onboard millions of users through initial courses that are going to be free. So when people come into the market, they research online for crypto education, crypto news, and that's how you're even watching this video. And so because Floki's positioned themselves to educate the masses, which project do you think the masses are going to buy when they get their education from this project? Now, phase number 2, they're going to be launching the Floki trading bot, and it's a cross-chain Telegram and Discord trading bot that will allow users to buy and sell their favorite cryptocurrencies on the industry's top blockchains. The bot will be powered by the Floki token, with 50% of the fees generated going towards buying and burning Floki, which should further enhance the utility of the token and making it deflationary. And with a community of over 470,000 on-chain holders, a brand recognized by over 3 billion people, and one of the strongest marketing teams in the space, they believe that the trading bot industry is one that will aggressively disrupt and dominate while adding value to the utility of their token. And then they're going to be launching the Floki domain services and decentralized web service, which is going to allow people outside of the Floki community to create their own .floki decentralized domain name and host their decentralized website, blog, or resume using their domain name, and it's being facilitated with key partners that they're going to be announcing soon. So it's most likely a massive company in the domain name space. And if that's not enough, they're also going to be launching their Floki powered bank accounts, partnered with a big fintech company. And this is going to allow users to create digital bank accounts and fund them with their Floki tokens. And the accounts will be facilitated through a key partner license in 4 key jurisdictions, which is Canada, Spain, Dominica, Australia, and the United Arab Emirates. So you'll be able to create digital bank accounts and generate debit cards linked to these accounts. And the accounts will have these features. Bank accounts can be denominated in the euro, US dollar, or the GBP. Swift payments and SEPA IBANs are supported. Users can open and fund the bank account with Floki tokens. So towards the later stage of this bull run, when they start rolling this out, guys, can you imagine how excited this is going to allow retail to be? It's going to be spread all across social media. There's going to be tons of videos coming out about it. And so when retail starts researching YouTube videos and starts learning about this project and they see what they're doing, the fact that they actually have real utility is what's going to separate it from everything else. And then phase 3, they're going to have version 2 of the university, and they're going to feature more premium and paid courses, and payments will be powered by the Floki token too. And one of my favorite aspects of this is they're also going to have a referral program. So if you guys are familiar with Amazon.com, Amazon Associates is Amazon's referral program where all these affiliates started making content, videos, blog posts about their favorite product on Amazon to drive traffic to earn a side income. And so in the crypto space, being a content creator, I fully understand what drives narratives of projects on why creators are going to talk about them, and this is going to be the main one. They're also going to be releasing the version 3 upgrade to their Floki locker and staking as a service that's going to allow other token projects to create their token staking program directly through their platform. And then by phase 4, they're going to have the Valhalla mainnet launch, which is their flagship utility product and metaverse game with their play to earn economy, upgradable NFTs, and open world gameplay. They're also going to have a Valhalla Chinese mainnet launch to capitalize on China's massive gaming economy. Then they're going to have the Valhalla mobile app launch too. So they're saying this is going to make their game accessible to potentially billions of new users and accelerate their goal of making Floki the most known and most used crypto in the world. So when you combine all of that with catalysts like M2 supply increasing, the US Treasury doing buybacks towards the end of this month, Bitcoin's halving's already taken place, and historically, 3, 6, or 12 months after Bitcoin's halving, the altcoin market just prints millionaires. Combining all that with the fact that the meme coin narrative in crypto is the best performer alongside gaming and artificial intelligence, Floki's team is one of the smartest in the industry. Because when you click on gaming, you could see IMX is number 1, guys. You can see Floki number 2. So that's why you definitely want to keep Floki on your watch list. And that's why I personally choose to hold it in my portfolio. Now, that doesn't mean that you should. I just believe in sharing with you guys what I'm doing in these markets to help you make the most amount of money. But you should always do your own research, consult your financial advisor. And if you want to do your own research, then go to bullrunners.com, get exclusive early access to our underground guidebook for discovering 100x altcoins. You don't need any previous crypto trading experience. Just click the button on the page. Best email address right here. It's free to subscribe. You get access to daily news to help you prepare for the worst that's yet to come in the economy. That's why we give you guys the best, because you know what we're doing together. We're backing up our trucks, man, all the way to the bank. We're grabbing the bags, we're packing them and stacking them, leaving no bags left behind, because we believe the spending power of the dollar is going to keep going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. When we talk about facts here, you don't need opinions to make money, because blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value. That's the truth. So together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. So I'll see you on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.